It's been a couple years, Keith. Well,
It
we were
has.
just talking actually, but in terms of like a podcast that we're actually like sending out to people, it's been a couple years.
Yeah,
I'm going to
you're
call this.
you're
Go ahead.
commissioner in quite a few leagues and just gotten really, really lazy. And I get
Mhm.
it, man. Life gets in the way, but sometimes
Mhm.
priorities, dude.
I don't have
Family,
mine straight.
friends. That well, who does?
Throw it out.
I,
Throw it out
I
there.
don't even want them. Priorities, man. It's for the birds.
Yeah, no, it's no bueno. But anyways, we're here, and we have no agenda. Keith and I were just talking right before this. We have zero agenda. Um, I've got my eye on the chat, so hopefully the boys from the leagues are going to throw some questions in there. Or maybe I don't think it's going to be so many questions. Probably just a bunch of insults to us.
Duh. Yeah,
That would be my guess.
they'll ask us what the most hurtful insult is.
Yeah, and we'll tell them.
Well, you know, champ to champ, it's probably hard to watch this. It's probably hard
That's,
to watch this right now.
yeah,
I'm going to be
because
honest.
there's a
There's a
lot
couple.
of guys watching this right now that have never won a dynasty league ever,
Yeah, I've just won so
ever.
many. It's getting on these podcasts is weird when it's old hat at this
Mm.
point. You know,
You've won so many, huh?
so, so many that you've been a part of.
I
Now I just want one. I want
I
one.
know which one you want to.
I
I
want the
know which one
OG
you want
now.
to.
I need the
So
OG badly.
I like that segue. So I want to say this real quick. Jason's going to pop in momentarily. Eventually, I'll say eventually, but it's a very good segue to the OG League,
Yes,
Dungeons
sir.
and Drag Routes. Let me get this up here. All right, there it is. So we're gonna basically our whole concept for this little show that we're doing here. I'm gonna go over to the chat to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. I don't think anybody cares because
No,
they haven't cared the entire off season.
no. Are you saying people aren't making moves? They got to be
Or
making
responding to trade
moves.
offers.
They're definitely not doing that. And I'll tell you one thing they're doing. Crimson Clint turning off notifications. Been trying to trade with Captain America for months. Like I had to go third party and get you to
Mhm.
reach out to me so I could let him have the privilege of drafting Ashton Genty in my league.
That's
That was some
terrible.
bullshit.
Some people like that. Like they shouldn't even like get that 101.
Mm. I'll
I mean,
start to
but
take it
there's
as
a
a penalty.
exactly commissioner's choice.
That feels good. Next year, because I'm fluid with rules, man.
Oh, dude, same. I love my bylaws, but like apparently no one else like my. Well, we're gonna get to bylaws later because I have a whole segment on bylaws for a particular league we're in.
Wow, I'm moist with anticipation. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that one.
Well, we'll get. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you something while I've got you on the hot seat here.
Hmm.
How are you going to handle Travis Hunter?
So I'm gonna take.
Still thinking about it?
I am. Because I have two like lanes of thought. We'll say. There's
Okay.
like one. I agree with you. Like having a player that's probably primarily going to play wide receiver, but also have like a DB designation. That's just such a cheat code for IDP. We play, and for the record, we play in all IDP leagues. Like
Mm-hmm.
not all IDP, but all of our leagues have IDP element to them.
Yeah, at least a
But
component.
I'm also like of the mindset of almost like should we reward this dude because Travis Hunter is a dude. The guy is talented, like a monster, like driven, a good kid. Like I've never heard anything bad about him at all. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe we should reward that a little bit. But the problem is I don't have any of the 101 to like 104 in any league.
Yeah.
So if I did, then I might switch some rules around. What are you doing for him?
Uh, in the leagues, I'm sort of stewarding to greatness. I
Like
decided
Denethor.
I decided against it because dual designations are a nightmare already. Taysom Hill is really the only problem. but he's been a big problem. And you yourself have lost, if I'm not mistaken, you lost to the weirdo, the Steeler tight end that was the running back for 1 week back in the day. What was that guy's name?
Not Heath Miller.
No, no, no. It was a guy that had a dual designation that Dean started against you in the Henry County Hard
Oh,
Knocks League. He got
oh
to
my
start him at tight
God.
end, but he had like 150 yards and a touchdown as a
Dude,
tight end.
I don't remember that, but I know what you're
My
talking about.
I'll dig up his name. He's a Steeler. He was a Steeler for like 3 years. But the thing about Travis Hunter is I'm not anti getting him both his points. In the leagues I'm dealing with, what I've told everybody is he will get his defensive points, but he will get them from the offensive spot.
Mhm.
Because to me, if you get an IDP point here or there as a wide receiver, big deal. But if you don't play any defense and can park him in the DB spot and get wide receiver one numbers, I think that's nuts. That's my
I'm
whole deal with it.
I'm with you. I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver one. Just first off, I think Brian Thomas Jr.
No, I
is the
agree.
dude there. But I
I
understand
actually
where
I
you're coming
actually
from.
think they both come down. Like, let's say he gets 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that's 90. Uh, what did I say? 5 touchdowns. So that's 12 points. No, like let's say he gets 10 points a game. Almost no DBs in our leagues get that. So he's your DB one, right?
It's true. Yeah, yeah.
Without playing any, and I really don't think, like, college is just different, man. You're not gonna play enough DB to warrant a DB designation. In fact, I would hazard a guess that next year Sleeper takes that away because he won't play enough DB.
Yeah. So that's kind of I guess I have three schools of thought on it, is like almost like a wait and see approach of
Mm-hmm.
how many what percentage of snaps does he get on defense? Like, because he's with the Jags. The Jags traded up to 2 to take him and all that stuff. I mean, they need corner help too. He's a good, by all reports I've seen, he's a better corner than he is wide receiver.
Well, for
But
the
the money
longest
is wide
time,
receiver.
right? For the longest time, it was going to be he's coming in as a DB, and I thought he'd play packages,
Yeah,
10 snaps a game or whatever. In that case, maybe you let him have the dual designation and go ahead and let him start. That I don't know. What I feel like is it's somebody with the potential to just run leagues into the ground. Like, if
yeah,
you imagine you're already the champ and you somehow had traded for the 102 and your team has 4 IDP spots, and now you get a guy who never plays DB but gets you 10 points a game. Like,
yeah, and
that could
probably is,
really be an advantage.
and he's probably going to have some games where he scores 20. I imagine. Like,
Yeah.
the Jags are going to have to throw it. Their defense isn't very good. Like, the only weapons that I can really see are Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, because Evan Ingram's gone. I think he went to Denver.
Yeah.
They got Brenton Strange there, but yeah, no, it's a fair point. I honestly, if you put me on the hot seat, like legitimately, like gun to my head, have to make a decision now, please put one. I'm just playing. Sorry, YouTube, just kidding. Um, I would go the route that you're going and just say, nope, we're not doing that whole rigmarole. I'm not even going to entertain that.
I mean, it's zero fun, right? But what I'm trying to do is not have 11 people crippled by something that somebody was just sort of backed into. Like, you have the potential weekly to have an impact like that week last year where Taysom Hill started at tight end and scored like 40 points because he just Like he had rushing touchdowns
He
and a
had like 3
receiving
rushing
TIF.
touchdowns. Yeah.
Like he did everything but tight end work.
Yeah.
But you get to start him at tight end. I just thought I think it's weak for Sleeper to do that, but I don't really know what to do when they stick that dual designation, and that dual designation is quarterback tight end. You're really hamstrung.
Yeah, agreed.
Unless you make a league or a rule in your league where it's like you want to start him at a flex. I don't like that either, but you just got to be kind of a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's really no way to work the rule.
And I think as commissioners, like at least what I try to do is take out like variance as much as possible. And I think Travis Hunter is a perfect example of, oh my God, what the hell do we like? It is such a commissioner's decision to make because, as you said, like it's just kind of like, oh, I won't even say got lucky, but you got the blessing of being able to get this guy that can potentially, if your commissioner is not, it's kind of weak sauce, can just start at DB and put up, like you said. Yeah. I think you've swayed me, actually, Keith.
And,
I think I'm going to have to do it.
I could even understand if you're in a league with no IDP, you wouldn't have any defensive scoring, and maybe he doesn't get the way I try to not completely neuter the guy is if he gets you a pick, he still because our even in our leagues, a running back will get a tackle on an interception, and we get that point. We get that constantly. Yeah. So I'm totally fine with all of that. Interception return yards, if your league does that, he gets it all. But he's not doing it from the DB spot.
Yeah, and 100%. Yeah, absolutely. We're not saying that you're not getting any defensive points, but yeah, if he plays 15% of snaps on defense, that's just not. Yeah. That's uncouth against God.
it's a sin against the Lord, our God.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send this invite to Jason because I feel like he might be about around this time. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and let me hear your spiel on D&DR. What you got for that league?
D&DR. All right. I took old man notes earlier because I didn't feel like typing anything. I've got things sort of broken up into tiers. I've got sort of a contender, limbo. Limbo is like the guys in the middle that really could kind of go. They could be kind of fluid. They could go either way. And then you got the guys at the bottom who.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
After the draft, you don't know. Our draft in D&DR is a while away. One thing I'm noticing about D&DR is nobody's really ruling the draft. Now, Cowboy Customs has 3 firsts, but he's the only one that's got like a lock on a clump. Like we've had drafts where like 4 guys have 10 picks.
Yeah,
it's nothing like that.
You've been there. I've been there as those guys that have all those picks before.
Yeah. It's fun times, but it usually means you aren't very good. Trying to get very good. That's the Cowboy could really. I've already got him in the top tier, and if these picks pan out, he could go nuts. I've got me, JDF, and you in sort of the top tier. Part of that is, I came off the title of JDF, hail neighbors. JDF walked to the title last year.
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like every move he made just worked out?
So I have something to say about that. If you don't mind,
he made some trades, please.
He did, and you know what? He made trades to win now, which is like, I think a lot of times in Dynasty, and I think I know that I've said this on multiple podcasts, that we think about like that 3-year window, but sometimes like just win a championship. And he did that. He went up and he did that. And I do want to say, or a name unknown, but congrats JDF for that victory, for that championship last year. 100% percentile on his moves. That was the outcome for him. He traded for Saquon Barkley and traded for Derrick Henry. 2 aging running backs going into new teams. Historically, that does not work out that well. Derrick Henry is not a normal human being. Saquon
Now,
Barkley is not a normal human being.
even if Saquon were a normal human being, you and I talked last year when I traded for Saquon in another league, that line made him a superhero.
Yeah.
I
When you're
really thought
talking,
he would lose more touchdowns to Hurts. And
I
Hurts
thought and
only
Hurts
scored
got double
15.
digit touchdowns. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
double. Well, the thing was, is like DeAndre Swift was good behind that Philadelphia Eagles line, and he's
Mm-hmm.
never been good in his entire life otherwise.
No, he
Like,
terrible.
yeah, I think he saw, I want to say it was like 2.3 yards before contact when he played for the Eagles. You give something like that to Saquon, it's
Yeah,
a recipe for a championship, you know?
I seem to remember last year Saquon multiple long touchdowns where I don't think anybody touched him. Nobody
Yeah.
on defense.
Yeah.
He's just running free. It's like practice.
Yeah. 7-on-7 drills.
Yeah. I mean, but again, JDF, man, he did his thing. The neighbors thing notwithstanding, even if Toby hadn't fucked all that up, he still gets a stud instead of neighbors. I don't know that it changes a lot. But their neighbors got super hot there at the end too.
Yes, he did.
Very,
And
very
yeah,
hot.
I don't want to be a dickhead, but I might be a dickhead for a second. I really don't like. I'm not accusing anyone in particular because I don't have an. I'm not. What's the dude's name from? Anyway, the Knives Out thing. Daniel Craig's character. I'm not a crazy good LeBlanc or whatever. But like, I wouldn't put it past somebody to be like, "Hey, man, make sure is this for context." If someone wasn't there, homie, I think it was Marvin Harris. I'm not going to go through the draft. I don't know who it was, but 3 studs come off the board, 1 through 3. At 4, the dude who is always inactive, never talked, just a terrible manager, terrible team, drafts Isaac Garindo at the 104, allowing this dude who won
Some
to
context
take.
here. Snap drafts him. The timer didn't run out. This was number 1 on the queue. Like, it got to 4, Isaac Garindo. Like, boy, somebody's sold on Garindo for sure, or not.
That's just wild.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a snap draft or like it was like the auto pick or whatever.
I know you went back and forth on whether to even kind of allow that because it felt it didn't feel shady, but it certainly felt like somebody was just fooling about. And
yeah, well, I mean, he immediately got kicked out, like genuinely.
Yeah.
Like it was more of like a last straw sort of thing.
Sure.
Because he never responded to trade request. Like just a personal plea, I guess, to everyone. If you're in a dynasty league, like you're supposed to really love this whole fantasy football thing. Like I'm guilty of it. I'm not super active all year, but damn it, if I don't look at my trades at least once a week, or like I don't check in at least once a week, when you don't do that for, I know I won't say who it was, but somebody hit me. I'm like, hey man, Toby hasn't looked at a trade in 3 months. Like that's unconscionable, and you can't. Anyways, it was the last straw for that guy. Fuck that guy. I don't give a fuck. Like straight up, like that's bullshit, man. And it's not so much like the championship this year, but it's like moving forward. To your point earlier, Keith. In hindsight, I probably should have said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to pause this draft, replace Toby, and then we're going to take that pick away. And then whoever's the new person is going to pick 104.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough situation either way. If you have any time to think, and in our minds, you don't have time to think about it, right? But really, you're doing your rookie draft in April or May. Mm-hmm. We got time, but the D-Gen tingles take over, and you're like, we got to get this fucking draft going. don't stop the train. We're on pick 5. I get it.
And I think there was like 2 other picks made after that one. Oh my God! Somebody with the name Ass Boy has joined. I'm excited about that. I don't know who it is.
You should
Oh
be.
my God, that's
Oh, it's
That's
the darkness.
scary.
Darkness.
I am currently at a Target in Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hi, Target.
What's up,
But
Target?
I wanted to what?
No, I said, "What's up, Target?"
Oh, I thought you asked me what a Target was, which would make sense because you live in Arizona. But
We have Target.
no, it's okay. We established that we're going to be third. Was it 29th, 30th? Because everyone lives there is gay.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like
Is it
that.
Kyler still? Is it Kyler there? Is Kyler still there?
Yeah,
Nah.
dude, he's my quarterback in D&DR, which we're talking about, and I
He's my
don't like it.
quarterback
I'm trying to
everywhere.
trade him.
It's rough.
I'm trying to trade him.
I'm going down with the ship with Kyler.
Keith, what's it like to not have a quarterback for the first time in literally your entire life?
What? Okay. We haven't had a quarterback since 17. That was the late career Ben stealing money years.
Hey man,
This is what happens.
Okay.
This is what happens when you have a coach that wants to go 8-8 every year.
Yeah, but 21st. Look, you were sitting at 21 and could have got Shedeur, right? Which the entire world wanted you to do. And then
people want us to get Dart. People want to.
Yeah.
He was a Steeler.
I wanted you to get it.
Oh, Mason. It's Mason Rudolph season. My God, Mason Rudolph, who I don't hate. He'll get you 8 wins, maybe 9. That's all we care about.
He'll get you the first round draft pick.
Keith, do you remember what I told you the other day?
What's that?
What my bet was the other day?
Oh yeah, the under.
Yeah,
you have to take it.
Dude, the Steelers at 8.5 wins on DraftKings. I was like, their quarterback's either going to be Aaron Rodgers, which looks likely, or fucking Mason Rudolph. I was like, yeah, I'll take under 8.5. I put like $30 on it. It's like one of the biggest bets I've ever done.
So we got this guy, and
I'm
he really
excited
likes mayonnaise. And he would be a great quarterback for you guys. So let's talk.
He really likes the mayo.
If you gave us Will Levis, I would build a statue right next to the big ketchup bottle or whatever it is. Accenture Stadium now. I'm so I have nothing but disdain right now for the Steelers. I'm like, I'm going to start watching MLS. That's how much the Steelers are pissing me off. I'm about to give it up and just watch soccer.
He says with his Steelers hat on.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I paid good money for this shit.
You guys haven't suffered enough. You haven't suffered enough.
That's what a lot of people say.
I've suffered pretty much my entire life. And Eric, you guys kind of live in the same world thanks to championships. Only the difference is your quarterback can rape people and it's okay, but their quarterback can't do anything without it being okay. So I feel like you still haven't suffered enough because to be a Dallas Cowboy is to know pain. So
that's a fact.
We had a year where we got to watch a guy named Duck Hodges. Play quarterback.
Hell yeah, dude. Quack, quack.
Yeah. Still finished 8-8. That's the year you tank. When Ben goes down in game 2, you ride it down to 3 wins. That's not when you coach him up. You're like, all right, guys, we're going to get one. Nah, we're not going to worry about that.
Oh, shit. Mike Tomlin's such a good coach.
I need to go home, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So I just
Good to
wanted to
see you,
say
man.
hi. I want to make sure I said enough so that Eric couldn't get any kind of profit from this at all. I wanted to go ahead and make sure I ruined that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Just in case he gets monetization, you get a chunk.
Yeah,
Hell
well,
yeah.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to go ahead and drop enough profane language to.
Well, that's fine. I'll tell you what. Throw the money that we make on this. Put that on the under for the Steelers and the under for them Titans, and it's gonna be all right. You gonna make so much money.
Man, the only thing I know is you guys are going to live under Jaden Daniels for the next 16 years. So.
Don't talk to me about that. I don't want to hear it. It makes me sad.
It's probably true.
No, that's why it makes me sad. Damn it.
I'll catch up with you boys. I'll catch up with you boys soon.
All right, man. Be safe, brother.
Later. Thanks for popping on, bro.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, Jaden Daniels, we all watched his college tape and watched game after game where he took a hit that you just didn't think he was going to walk again. And then he got to the NFL. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's going to be dinged up. I kind of learned to avoid it, which was shocking.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think the Commanders' line is kind of like middle of the road. I think he's just dude. That guy's a stud, man. That's 2 years in a row where the number 2 quarterback has been better than the number 1. So
that's true. Bryce started coming along last year, though. I was pleasantly surprised about the last half of the season, to be honest.
Agreed. Especially, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but like one of our leagues with the one that had the incredibly dangerous but incredibly sexy belt. I have Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young. Those are my 2 super flex quarterbacks. So I'm like,
yeah, okay. I noticed that looking. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean,
before Jason graciously popped in, we were talking about these tiers, right? I've got the.
Oh yes.
I don't want to say the bottom 4 of D&DR, but the guys who kind of have a little work to do because their teams actually don't look bad. And with the right season, they could easily climb up too. But I got Roll Tide. I got your Bloodline Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I got Tran and I got Cam. Everybody's got good stuff going on. It just might be a little top heavy. At the top of the league, it might be kind of hard to break into the top 6. Mm. But like Roll Tide's got a pretty good team, but I got that he is kind of weak at wide receiver, where Corey, his strength, and this is pretty standard with him, it seems like his strength is receiver for sure.
Yeah. He's a 0 RB guy, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like he can scrape together a decent RB committee. Tran's team is actually pretty balanced. He just needs things to break. I mean, he's just like a year off of winning the whole thing.
He won a championship. Yeah, he won a championship in 23. Yeah. And
then Cam's got really good running backs, but wide receivers probably need a little bit of work. And then, the middle ground, everybody, you got MB Hall, Jason, Jay, and Clint, right? They could all easily shift up into the top 4 or top 6, sort of a fluid playoff grouping there. Mm-hmm. I just need Marvin Harrison to stop fucking around.
Me too, man. I've got him in nubs, which we'll talk about here soon. But
yeah,
I would love that. I actually have some stats. I actually have almost like a little tiny commissioner's corner. We already said, congrats to JDF. Dude, we're going into year 7 with this league. And you're one of the OGs. How about that? That's pretty freaking awesome. There's 6 of us left.
There's still 6?
There are 6. Me, Tran, Clint/Jeff, Jason, Cam, you.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to take just a second because we talked about Cowboy for a second. So he's got those 3 first rounders. I think it's the 101, the 108, and the 111. Because you finished 2nd last year, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard to choose who I wanted to win, but I wanted to say something about fucking.
I know you didn't want that.
No, I didn't. I want to say something about Cowboy. Why, sir? You have 33 roster spots. 15 of them are quarterbacks or tight ends. That's almost half. Did you know you can only start one quarterback and one tight end? What in the hell are you doing? You have 8 tight ends on your roster. Why? What are you doing? He's going to draft Tyler Warren, isn't he? He's going to draft Tyler Warren.
Just so you know, that's very on brand. Did you look at the other leagues? He's always got a gang of tight ends. Always.
For why? Like, package some of those guys together, get them out of there, man.
It works, more or less. Like, I was looking at some of his teams today. I was like, yep. I think he drafted a couple in our league that you're not in. There's tight ends everywhere, man. And that's only a 10-teamer.
That's wild. Yeah,
I love a tight end too. But I don't want to have a team full of them.
I do like it. Yeah, I do. I have some interesting stats here, Keith. And I'll be honest with you. This is #selfish. I wanted to make myself feel better because in these 6 years that we've had, I've won 1 championship. But in my opinion, I've been the best team almost the entire time. I will say, save year 1. I think I've been the best team for 5 years out of this.
Yeah, but that Tyreek Hill thing threw everybody off.
Yeah, we had a guy, clearly no morals. He drafted Tyreek in like the 9th round right after he got accused of like his, 5th or 6th freaking like DV sort of thing, which I think he's got a couple more accusations after that, but
yeah,
whatever. So I've got some stats here. I went into the archives, Keith, and I pulled for the OGs, us 6. I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
All time record. And I'm going to caveat this. I'm going to say Keith's a fantastic manager. We'll find that out in a minute because I know he cannot wait to talk about Dynasty Nubs. But Keith's a fantastic manager. He tanked one whole season, like tanked it. Like 0 wins or 1 win? You have 0.
I think I accidentally won 1.
Why are you so dumb? No. But anyway, so yeah, Keith.
I can't even screw up right.
Right. 37 and 45 all time. About 11,000 and a half points for 3 playoff appearances out of 6 years. That's good. 0 championships. Cam, 39 and 43, about 12,000.3 points. 2 playoff appearances, 0 championships. Jason, 42 and 40, a little over 12,000 points for and 3 playoff appearances. Clint/Jeff, 12. He's about neck and neck with Cam for points. He's 42 and 40, 3 playoff appearances. Tran, 44 and 38, 12,000 and a half points for 3 playoff appearances, 1 championship. Oh my God, I forgot to say this. Let's go back to Jeff real quick. He is the only one that has this other designation. 1 lifetime nemesis. This son of a bitch beat me 2 years in a row in the semifinals. I'll never forget him. He actually hit me up the other day about like introducing him to some people like on base so he could do some like salesman sort of shit. I was like, no, fuck you. You will get nothing from me. Anyways.
Wow.
That's awesome. Then you've got Eric. 62 and 20 record. 14,000.6 points for 6 playoff appearances. So your boy has made the playoffs every single year and only 1 championship. If anybody ever tells me fantasy football, I won't say fantasy football, the playoffs involve a decent amount of luck, I will throat fucking punch them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what you have to do is, I think it's skillful to get to the playoffs constantly. But once you get there, it really is a crapshoot. I mean,
it really is.
There was a year there's been a couple of years in D&DR where I've been neck and neck with you, get to the playoffs, and then like every stud scores you single digits. What do you do? Can't do anything about it. You just have to have a team that's so good it transcends the luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can build teams. Sometimes we can build teams that way, but it's
how
not
do we
always.
Build teams that way? That's what I want to know. But
you got to cheat. You got to cheat.
I got one more thing to say about DNVR, then we can move on to Dynasty Nubs. I just wanted to actually, this is for every league that I commission. So homies are going to watch. They're watching this now. Homies that are watching this later. We are moving to max points 4 to determine the 101 through the 106 draft order moving forward. So that means no one has to tank anymore. No more active tanking nonsense. It's literally going to be how bad is your team objectively. No more subjective nonsense where, like, Keith, I know you wanted to get those picks because it was a good draft year. I think it was like 2024. That was the 2023 season, but for the 2024 rookie draft. We don't have to do that shit no more. It's objectively based on how bad your team is. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I will be the first one to admit, when I saw the year, it was a couple of years before when I saw Marvin Harrison Jr. was coming out, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make plans to get him.
Yeah.
And
hopefully
he might be the worst. He could be the worst.
That would be such a bummer.
It really would. I mean, not only does he have like the pedigree and all this, he's just, what are you, 6'4", and you super fat and just make all the catches. If I don't know. I do like Kyler, but I think there's something about Kyler where he's like, no, I'm the star. I'm not going to feed this guy. It's not my job to feed this guy. It's such a short-sighted thing.
Oh, I like that. Pun intended, I hope.
Very much.
But I mean, he feeds the hell out of Trey McBride.
I mean, yeah. Trey McBride's never going to be a star, though. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, you're not going to see commercials with Trey McBride. He'll be an NFL stud. He's the highest paid tight end. He's awesome. I love him so much.
He used to be until like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, who? Kittle?
Kittle.
On a yearly basis? Okay.
Yeah.
But, Marvin Harrison Jr. could be a guy that's on billboards, and, you just won't see that on Trey McBride. Trey McBride might not even want that.
And
not that he doesn't deserve it, but he's never going to be like on all the posters at the Arizona Stadium. It'll be Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr.
And that's fair.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my boy Buda Baker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Boy, every even decent defender on that team is all you got to be is average.
Pumped up a little bit. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna transition. We spent a lot of time on that. Jason popped in, so we're gonna go to. I even created this for you, Keith, and I already feel bad about it because I don't know if you can see the screen right now. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I see it.
Dynasty Nubs, I think that's our second longest running league. We're going into our 6th year, I would imagine. No, our 4th year, or 5th year, our 5th year.
Oh, yeah, we're going into
It'll be our 5th because Brandon won the first year, and then we've won the last 3 somehow. Through black magic, through seances, deals with Satan himself.
I'm in league with the devil. It's fine.
Is that an E-Tid shirt, by the way?
Callous Cowboys.
Callous Cowboys. Oh, dude, I still got to listen to them.
Yeah, your shit's weak.
I mean, Electric Callboy is like the only thing I listen to right now. So,
yeah, why would you not?
Are
they not perfect?
Dude, they are literally perfect.
Yeah,
I'm a spaceman. Sorry. Anyway,
how do you have such dancey metal? And it works. Like, it doesn't sound corny. I don't know.
So I found something out. I don't know if Cam and I have ever talked about this on our podcast before, but so Cam and I think probably a decent amount of people know who Cam is that are watching this, at least. Not in the world, but we were in bands together for like 7 years straight, basically from like 2005 to 2012. Before we played shows, especially when we were like playing shows like towards the end of our like little band career, before the shows, we would listen to like house and techno. That was our jam. And I've realized now, since listening to Electric Callboy, my two favorite genres are metal and techno. And they have somehow made such a beautiful baby with those. It's just incredible. Germans can do almost anything.
I think the key. Well, yeah, they can do a lot of things. I don't think we should do most of them. But Electric Callboy can do things that I'm totally fine with. I think what it is I think a lot of metal bands want to be cool. Or they want to be scary. Whatever they want to be. Electric Callboy doesn't care. They're just like, nah, man, here's what we're doing. We've made it cool because we think it's cool.
Yeah.
And guess what? They are correct. Like,
that's an accurate statement.
I have yet to hear an Electric Callboy song that I'm just not like. I just want to fist pump all the time.
All of them.
Even their stuff with baby metal.
Oh,
sure.
That one might be the best one, dude. Like, baby metal in and of themselves are pretty fucking rad, but yeah. All right, I'm pulling up Dynasty Nubs now because we are at officially 41 minutes. I'd like to keep this to an hour, but we shall see. I know we get to talking. The old man that you are, the aspiring old man that I am.
You gotta earn the years.
That's true. I just gotta stay alive, Sometimes it's a straight Once again, YouTube, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sometimes in the morning I get up and I'm just like, sure hope today's the day.
You're right. The sweet release. I'm ready for it.
Oh, God. All right. I know you looked at these teams. What are you thinking as far as this stranglehold I've got? Who's the contender? Who's going to dethrone me? I got Tran.
So Tran has a very good team. It's just I don't even want to talk about this league because your team is like legitimately like just it's too overpowered, and I'm upset about it. And Brandon, I hope Brandon watches this. This is your fault, Brandon.
How?
No, I'm kidding. He did make a few trades that were like, brother.
To me?
No, it was fucking Albin. It was Albin's fault. I remember calling him out about it.
Who did Albin trade me? Josh Allen?
I would have to go all the way back through all the trade. It's in the chat somewhere for us where I was just like, this
Albin traded me Josh Allen, but I traded him like multiple firsts, Jared Goff, Joe Mixon.
Two 112s? Is that what it was? It was two 112s is what
No. They were in the middle because, I'd be moving my picks.
That is fair. That's fair. I just want to say something. I'm looking through because I didn't write very many notes down for this league because it disgusts me. To be honest, I thought about
There's plenty of good teams.
I mean, I think my team is decent, not great. But let's talk about the all-time weekly high scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the top 10 are from your team.
Yeah.
It is just a sad, sad state.
You know what started my death march in this league?
What's that?
After the first season, I traded. Let's see. I traded Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, and Cam Akers for Austin Eckler. People in the chat were like, what a dumbass. I've never seen such a one-sided trade. You lost that trade by a mile. I was like, okay. I make my moves, and that was after year one.
That was before the Cam Akers Achilles injury, though. So at that time, because I will tell you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think what happened was it was after the injury, but he was totally cleared. and they're like, "Oh, it's a miracle. He's going to be right back to normal." And so
Was it
nobody really worried
after-
about him.
Because I think you're right. Because I want to say McVay gave him like 30 fucking carries in a game or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Because he
it was
came
something
back like
nuts.
towards the end of this. Because he did have like a miraculous freaking recovery. And I was saying before the injury, I thought Cam Akers was the best running back to come out of that class with like Jonathan Taylor and those other guys. I thought he was the best back.
Yeah,
He had
especially
some
for
real
where
bad-
you could get him.
Yes, exactly.
No, I mean, I just again, super dumb luck, right? What has happened is the passing yardage in that league is a little lower, so I just made sure to get 2 runners.
True. And we talked about that from the very beginning of like,
Yeah. But the thing is, even if you move the scoring, it's not like Lamar and Josh Allen don't throw. Like the scores are going to be, they'll still be the percentage points away from each other. Everybody else's will just look higher as well.
true.
But
I didn't realize this. I was in the championship game in the inaugural year of this league.
Yeah.
Damn it. And I actually beat you. I'm going to take that. I'm so excited about that now. Sorry. Let's talk about the future, though.
I can see that. Here's what I have, right? I've got a clump of 5 teams. I've got you, Albin, Jonathan, Cowboy Customs, Tran, and myself. Feels fair as a top 5 that's sort of
Okay.
amoebus. I'm obviously the favorite. Like,
no one's going to disagree with that. Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. However, in this league, we do have some guys in the draft. Fight Club, Brandon, and Jason all have huge drafts with lots of first-round picks.
Wow. Fight Club is the 101 and the 102.
Specifically, the 101 and 102.
Wow.
Finally made a trade a couple years ago. Traded away Tyreek Hill for Clint's second, and then Clint had a bunch of injuries, becomes the 102. So, sometimes moving the old guys works. I'll tell you this, though. Other people's
Imagine
teams,
that.
when I look at Tran's team is what I want to look at when I look at a team. My team is the bologna and cheese sandwich. It's steady. It's not sexy, but it gets you where you got to go.
It's dependable.
It's the Toyota Corolla of fantasy teams.
What cheese are we talking about here, though? American? Good old American?
And cheese? American.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I wasn't off. I'm just saying.
Well, really, it could be anything.
Sometimes we get a little fancy around my house and just kind of get a little Swiss. I hate it so much.
I wasn't going to do this. I feel like I need
You
to.
were going to do this. You don't even lie to me. He's like, I wasn't going to do this, but I did have those within arm's reach.
Well, Paul Heyman just brought it to me. He's like, here, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. So I just wanted to put it on. All right, hold on, Paul.
I want to watch Seth Rollins curb stomp you. That's what I want to see.
Wow, that is hurtful. Speaking of curb stomp,
Oh, God.
there are some teams at the bottom here. They got some work to do. They shouldn't. It's not that they're bad. It's really not that they're bad. They just got to have good drafts. Like the last 4 teams that I did not mention, they just need good drafts. Like Swoop.
Mm-hmm.
Swoop's got a good team. They just, even Clint is a contender. He's just got to have some guys turn it around a little bit. He's got studs. They've just got to perform. Like when you trade for Tyreek Hill and he gets you 900 yards, you have traded enough for Tyreek Hill that is going to kill your team.
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah. When I'll just say that, like, it's almost always a bad idea to trade for a guy when he's coming off a career year. Almost always. And the fact that Tyreek Hill was 28, 29 at the time, which is not super old for a running back, but for the skill set that he has, man, like, I want this really fast, twitchy guy at
Mhm.
the almost, getting into his 30s. That's a little rough. But
Well,
also, Tua being injured didn't help either.
I think, well, that's certainly the main thing, but I think what ends up happening, Clint, a couple of years was kind of a top 3, top 4 team. And he's like, all right, he's selling out for first. I got no problem. If I sell out for first and finish last, so be it. Man, I'm going for wins. Flags fly, man. I do not care about seconds. I'm so annoyed with all seconds unless they come with a check. I'm totally fine with that.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
if they
fair.
come with a second place trophy, that trophy will get to know my trash can.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that is, and that's a really fair point. I've traded one year, I think it was 23. I had 4 first-round picks going into that 2024 rookie draft. I traded all 4 for Devontae Adams and Saquon Barkley to put me over the hump. And it just ended up being I played Amari Cooper in the playoffs, who had 200 and some yards, set up like literally an NFL record.
Yeah.
And it happens that way sometimes, but I agree with you. Go in.
Well, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm always one who, I love picks, man. I really do. But if I can trade an unknown commodity for a relatively known commodity, I will probably do that. Like
I usually operate that way as well.
Yeah. Everybody wants the Family Guy. It might be a boat, and I love boats, man. But if I could trade I traded we'll get to green.
We just had a trade in, I think it was Dungeons and Drag Routes, of the 201 for David Montgomery.
Yeah.
And I had immediate regrets, but I know for a fact I don't think I could get round 1 picks for David Montgomery from anyone in the league. I'm not sure that would happen.
You could probably get them, but you'll be in a playoff race with the person who wants him.
Sure, exactly.
And then you're not trading him anyway.
Exactly. And it's a why even do it sort of thing.
Sure.
It's a very like a lateral move, but what else you got for the old Nubs?
I think Nubs were pretty cut and dried for a while till this draft happens, and I started getting scared. Where are you going next?
Let's finish on the money league. We'll do From the Ashes. I think From the Ashes will take just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to say there, and I just want to say congratulations to the amazingly humble Eric. What a fantastic manager! What moves? What grace? What poise?
What
that guy,
grace!
That guy is who we can aspire to be. I mean, I'm going to risk life and limb and eyesight here to put this thing over my shoulder, but there it is. Look at that
is
belt.
The hardest. It's the hardest belt to deal with, but it's so awesome.
It's beautiful. Look at that bling, dude.
You gotta, but you have to have known the $1 Million Man to really appreciate that.
Money. Yeah. That's why I think, honestly, dude, I think it can only ever go between me, you, and Albin. I don't know that anybody, your boys like Jonathan and Corey and those guys probably know.
They know. Too, Now, what do you got to say about this one, champ?
Dude, to me, I was looking at this league. I did like a very nominal, like super quick little like look through. There is a lot of parity. There are a few teams that are kind of a little trash because, like, honestly, a lot of people didn't pay much attention to it last year because it was like, basically, long story short, Keith retired it because he is just a terrible human being. I know that he was throwing. Keith is rich. If anybody didn't know that, Keith is definitely rich. He was throwing, Venmos. No, I'm just playing. But
Who
But,
got that cash out?
Who got that Venmo? Who got that cash out? But yeah, that was
No,
our
you talk about
original
dumb
money
luck.
league.
Dumb luck, legit. I deserved one of those titles. Your brother, having not won that league yet, is criminal.
It's dude, his team
Corey,
was his
I know
team
you're
is
watching.
still,
You should have won something by now. Like, and I beat Albin in year 2 by like 4 points. Albin, he probably had a better team that year. Again, dumb luck. One of those guys should have a title well before you, and certainly before me.
yeah, I agreed 100%. And this league is so so what I did with this one, this was just kind of almost like I don't want to say it was a throwaway, but it was like, let me try something different. And we
It was an
implemented
experiment.
100% chaos IDP scoring, and it was just
Man.
what like people like defensive tackles sometimes. Fucking what was that big fat bastard from Denver? White dude. Anyways, I can't think of his name right now. But
Wolf?
Zach something.
Yeah.
I can't think of his damn name. He
Singleton,
got like
Singleton got me, I know, 40 points. One get Alex Anzalone, all as your brother would call them, all the long-haired white guys.
Yeah.
They were killing it. Killing it.
Yeah, man. And it was just, this league is but you did a little you refined the IDP scoring, I believe, when you took it over, because I was like, I'm not fucking with this no more.
What I did was I went in, talked to your brother. We went a little closer to the IDP 1, 2, 3, a little more stable, but still offensive. Sort of the key is your offense.
Yeah,
like there were legit weeks where, your studs on offense could get you 200, and you look at the other team's IDPs, and somebody got 5 sacks, and you just know you lost.
Yeah, they got 75 points. You're like, oh, cool, that's great.
Yeah, I think Khalil Mack one game might have gotten 57.
I guarantee it. Yeah, that is correct. Like I really love my team in that league. Aside from a few players, I definitely hold on, make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yeah.
No, you should. Your team is really good in that one.
Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young, who's jury's still out on Bryce Young, but man, they got him Ted McMillan at the 8th pick in the NFL draft. I love that for him. He kind of showed out, like we were talking about before that we even put this on, or maybe it was when we were on. I can't remember now, but Bryce Young showed out a little bit in the second half of last year. So I'm hoping that continues. Jameer Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, that's a hell of a running back core. So
right. Who are your wide receivers there?
Marvin Harrison.
Oh, okay, you got Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison, C. Lamb, and Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. It's just honestly the depth behind them is not super great, but that's all right. It's once again, it's one. We're all 1 or 2 injuries away from, like, even you and Nubs, man. If 1 or 2 key injuries, it's just What do you do?
That's one sort of battle cry that teams on the lower rungs look at teams that are a little higher up and go, well, they don't have any depth. You're in a 12-team league, and there's some weeks you got to start like somebody's backup tight end. Like, nobody's got depth, man.
When you have 35 roster spots, no one has depth anywhere.
And, every year we have these drafts, and I'm thinking, all right, this is finally going to be the year the waiver wire is not terrible. And it's always terrible. I don't know how that happens. But it's such is life.
You have any notes? Because this is the one league we're actually actively drafting in our rookie draft on. Do you have any notes for anybody that's like, hey, man, you're actually like killing a draft?
I tried not to look at their specific draft picks, just the number of draft picks they had, because I didn't want it to sway what I thought of their teams, before we got done. My notes are real rudimentary here. Let's see. Fancy Lads, Jonathan.
Okay.
He's got a really good team. no real RBs to speak of. Your brother's team, I don't even want to talk about it. It's too good.
His team
Somebody
is
should.
so good, dude.
The wide
I got
receivers are
so
nuts.
lucky, honestly. I got so lucky we had a semifinal match, and I think I won by maybe 7 points or something. It was just straight. It was a fucking barn burner. I think I scored 290 something. He scored like 280. Like if I was at like 292, he was like 287. It
Dude, if
was,
he doesn't score 300, I'm shocked weekly.
yeah. His team is so good.
I mean, your team's great. Obviously, your team's great. Seawood's got a really good team.
Mhm.
Needs a little
Have
RB
you
help.
have you seen his draft? Do you know who he's drafted so far?
I haven't even looked.
So he had the 101. So Ashton Genty, easy peasy, right?
All right,
Let
so
me
he got
let me.
RB
So he
help.
got some RB help, right? I mean, consensus in I think the dude's an RB1 from get go. I don't know. I won't say where he's going to be at in the 1 through 12, but an RB1. He's
Yeah.
going to see so much volume. And dude, I love what he did for the future. He drafted, I think it was a little early for him, but he drafted Jalen Milroe at the 201. I think Jalen Milroe with a year behind, is it Geno? Yeah, Geno's out there at Seattle.
Yeah.
A year behind Geno with his rushing ability and his arm, dude, he could absolutely turn into a Jalen Hurts. Like,
Well,
absolutely.
Clint doesn't believe in him even a little bit. And, I'm cool with that. But
Really?
no, he can't stand him. But all the scouts are like, if this guy learns to pass a little bit, he's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
In his highlights, man, the dude is quick. Like, no one, I've never seen a quarterback run like Lamar Jackson, like ever in like watching football. Like even Michael Vick had that straight line speed and he had wiggle. Not saying he didn't have wiggle. Lamar Jackson has, I don't know. He reminds me of like little Sean McCoy when he runs. Like it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it sucks watching him though because I hate the Ravens so much.
That's fair.
So much.
Albin moved up to the 112. Took
Okay.
Caleb Johnson. I think Caleb Johnson is going to be real good. Maybe the second half of this year and then moving forward because this is Jalen Warren's last year on a contract. If I'm correct,
they re-signed him for 1 year. All I ever want out of Warren, as a former Steeler fan, all I want out of Warren is to be Austin Eckler to whoever's Melvin Gordon. You know? And I like Caleb myself, and he's a guy that if they gave him 250 carries, he could be a monster. I just don't think he'll get it because they do like Warren.
Yeah.
But Warren's also not going to hold him off from being the RB1 either.
No, I mean, I'm looking at Caleb Johnson's just his stature right now, 6'1", 204. That's a dude that can carry the rock 275, 300 times.
I just hope he's more athletic than Najee was. That guy was so underwhelming as a runner, I thought. And maybe, if you took him in the late second, early third, I'd been like, okay, he's just what you expect. Like, let's just say Najee and David Montgomery are exactly the same. I want one of those guys in the third and not in the first. David Montgomery was a third-round pick. What he became, totally cool. Najee will always be a failure relatively to that draft position.
Well, to draft position and to expectations. But that was the thing, too, if I remember correctly, they didn't have an O-line that year that they drafted him.
It's not all Najee's fault.
No, yeah, sure. and not a quarterback either. So it's it goes to the whole point of I think I'm past the point of being running backs don't matter. I'm falling in line with the PFF thing because running backs do matter, but you have to set them up for success as well. I'm looking at your draft right now in this one. Matthew Golden at 205.
I thought that was good value.
Incredible.
Really good value.
I mean,
I'll probably trade him. You know how I do.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but honestly bad things about his production profile. But the man has, I think he was taken at 23, in the first round. He's going to get every opportunity to succeed.
Green Bay's wide receiver room is weird. They're all sort of underwhelming.
Oh my god!
All sort of underwhelming. He could easily rise up to be the number one. Now, what does that mean? 1,310? Probably not. But
That'd be nice, though.
especially now that I have him. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I traded my first round pick for. I was going to take a running back anyway, so I traded for Chase Brown.
Oh yeah, no, I like that.
You know, I'll take that.
Yeah. No, I think he's probably going to be a 1-year rental, but like a good 1-year rental. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to stretch it out to 2. That'd be nice, but I think 1 year is probably what I'm looking at.
So, what do you have notes for Swoop in this league?
Let's see. Swoop. All I had was he needs a quarterback because I liked his team.
Yeah,
but he did not take a quarterback, did he? Not yet.
But I'm going to read you off his 4 picks so far.
Oh,
RJ Harvey, second round
him.
Capital to a team that needs a running back. Cam Scatterbo, the great white hope, obviously.
Yeah.
The angriest runner I've seen since probably Brandon Jacobs, you know. Emeka, oh God, Igbuka, I think is how we say his name. Igbuka.
Oh yeah.
I love that for a long-term play.
Yeah, you
that
wait
kid
another
is
year
good.
Mike Evans cannot keep doing this.
He can't keep getting away with this.
No, that's exactly what I think because I've got him on a team. I'm like, when's it gonna happen?
And that's the meme. That's the meme that we all send every time Keith makes another. Just I don't know what he does to these people. He's just
I've noticed, dude. My trades are. Here's the key. I pay up.
I don't know about that.
I will empty the clip to get a guy I want. I'll do it every time.
No, that's how you should do. And Luther Burden, man, he actually grabbed Luther Burden as well.
That's another one in like 2 years.
Yeah,
maybe
I
one.
really like what he's done. Like that's a lot of. I mean,
yeah, and I've got
that's
4
good shit.
I've got 4 quarterbacks on the roster just because, you know, it's a super flex, man. You know, I could. He's gonna need a QB. He's like,
and that's fair. Yeah,
come see me.
Come holler at Papa.
Yeah, the only one I know is untouchable is Scatterbo.
Oh yeah, you can't.
He ain't trade him ever.
All right, I really don't have much else to say on that one. It's a fun league that I think that we all. It's one of those. It's like we all participate in, talk a little shit, but it's not. It's a recreational sort of thing.
Yeah, that was the money league, and now Greenlight is the money league. So I think that's the one everybody's going to really.
From recreational to serious as fuck.
You know, speaking of serious as fuck, man, last year that draft was maybe the most competitive startup draft I've ever seen because people were getting way out of line for players. And I'm sitting there, as I'm trying to play the ADP game, right? Mm-hmm. And then somebody's taking a whole round early. And I'm like, fuck.
Dude, it's hard to do in a startup.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and pull up this our draft here in that one because I know you were drafting beside just probably one of, if not the greatest startup drafter of all time.
Yeah. You did have a great draft, man. You're one of the ones who was doing it.
We both did.
Like you jumped me by a round on a couple of running backs that I just knew were going to fall. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get that guy. I'll get Pacheco easily in the 6th.
Or James Conner.
I'll get Zamir White in the 8th.
Yeah.
Nah, no, you won't. You're
not so fast, my friend.
You're going to be starting Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. What a disgusting last name, number one.
Good.
What a disgusting last name.
Good times.
Yeah, I've got a few notes for this league here. Just wanted to year 2, baby. Let's go. This is a league where no one reads the bylaws and everyone hates a commissioner. So that's great. Mm-hmm. Congrats to Albin, genuinely, aka Tucson Magician, aka Team Tucson Magician.
Yeah,
Albin.
I don't like that.
Rename your team.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's like Team Albin. Yay.
Yeah, it's just
You're
disgusting.
more creative than that, Albin. I've talked to you face to face.
So I looked. I really did deep-ish dive on his team, and then I stopped. I was going. That's what I should say. I was going to do a deep dive, and then I was like, "This man is starting 5 Colts," and I want to let y'all know the Colts have plus 12,000 odds to win the Super Bowl. That's just a twist of the knife because Alvin beat me in the championship game on that. I can't say much because Dallas is like plus 7,000, but that's the same as the Raiders for context, and that's 5 Colts in his starting roster. 2 wide receivers.
Okay, so I'm assuming
He's got
JT.
Josh Downs. No, he's got Josh Downs. He's got Michael Pittman.
Oh, he's got
Anthony
AR,
Richardson.
doesn't he?
He's got Anthony Richardson, and he's got 2 Zaire Franklin and another defensive guy.
And that's the 7 defenders, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I'll take a look real quick.
I think it's 2, 3, and 2.
Yep. We
Okay.
got 2, 3, and 2.
So basically, without the chaos scoring, but the same skeleton is okay. I got you.
Yeah, I tried to because I really liked a lot of stuff that we did in From the Ashes.
Yeah.
Aside from the IDP, like the chaos IDP scoring.
I mean, it was fun to watch from afar, but it was like watching a car wreck some weeks. But I'll tell you, there's a dude Swoop again. What's he doing? I don't like that he's gotten to be relatively solid because, and Swoop, this is true. You love to draft too much. Like you want picks so bad. Oh God, I'm so glad you're getting out of that. But Swoop has 2 firsts, and he's got solid quarterbacks, solid wide receivers, and RBs, and his starting tight ends in Njoku. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Your brother, son of a bitch, doing it again.
He's got such a good team in that league, man.
His pass catcher core is ridiculous. It's Justin Jefferson, Higgins, Neighbors, and Bowers. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I'm sitting here looking at it. Jackson Smith and Jigba too. The number
I didn't want to keep going.
Yeah, I know.
It sucks. I don't like it.
Devon Haychan.
Yeah. Once again, cobbling together running backs. Just it's hurtful to watch. Your team, obviously. I mean, Chase, Connor, Rashee Rice. That's the one I'm kind of really digging. Solid quarterbacks. Tight end could be better. You know that, but if that's your worst position.
I cobbled together those guys. Yeah,
you punted the shit out of
that. The hell out of those. Yep.
I might have fucked that up. I took Pitts in the 5th.
Yeah.
Thought it was good value. I don't know if I'll give him another year. I think I might have Freiermuth laying around somewhere. I don't know. I got something.
Yeah.
But I did trade. All the shitty play aside from last year, I got the 101. So that was going to be Janty, but I traded it for Bijan.
And that's what I was going to say to you is like, how did you feel about your performance last year, Keith? Don't even have the 101. And then after I wrote that, I started looking. I was like, damn, he traded that sumbitch for Bijan. And you only had to move back to the 103, which means you're probably getting Hampton or Henderson or Judkins or McMillan.
I'll probably let you decide to be on the wrong side of history with Hunter and then take Hunter. Stick him in my IDP spot.
I told you.
I'm stashing the fuck out of that guy.
So you know what I realized, by the way? I have the 103 in DNDR. That's the only league where Hunter is going to be allowed to be in the DB spot. Everybody, all right. All the other leagues.
Well done, sir.
I told you I'm not above cheating. I don't care.
No, I mean, if they all say it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's the old baseball adage.
That's
for
exactly.
People that watch baseball for whatever reason.
Baseball's fine.
Yeah, it's it was. Let's see. I'll tell you whose team I thought. Let's see. Albin, he could tighten up the quarterbacks. Jason got the 1, and I did trade him Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
His team, with a pretty good draft, he could be kind of up there. My team's weird. It's probably a middling 6 seed team for a little while. unless I get a second. Like if my second running back comes along, that'll be fine. Who is? Let's see. Again, Seawood. Seawood's got another one. If his wide receivers pop, he can kind of climb up there pretty fast.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I just had a request for someone. Another. So we've got two champions of two different leagues here right now.
Okay.
Another champion has requested to potentially.
Oh, this better be Albin.
So I mean, we shall see. Yeah, man, dude. So in looking at this league, though, I saw an incredible amount of parity. There's like there's not in my like even like Alvin, like there's a lot of teams there's probably 8 teams that can make the playoffs, and then as we talked about earlier, once you make the playoffs, actually probably like 9 teams can make the playoffs.
I have my tier 1 in limbo as 9 teams.
Shit. So there you go.
Yeah. So there was 3 that I was looking at. They're like, they're like a draft away. There's nothing inherently bad about their team. They drafted more for a year or 2 from now. Totally cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right, man. Who is the underwhelm? I just wrote underwhelm. That was in their name.
I want to say that's
Tran.
Or is it? Yeah, that's Tran.
Maybe Tran. Okay. Now he's got.
Dang. What's up?
This guy.
What's up, man?
He don't even. Where's the belt at, dude?
Hold on. I'll get it for you.
No, he's getting it. But Tran's got a little bit of a QB problem, but the rest of his team is pretty solid, man.
There's
now. That belt's still awesome. Le Champion.
Nah, the one Keith's got probably the nicest belt.
It is 100% the nicest.
Let me make sure. It's more important for that to stay in focus.
Ain't nobody trying to see you. We're trying to see the belt.
No, I'll just get over here. But no, like Albin's in that group, man. There's like there's 19. No, obviously it's top heavy. You and your bro. Yeah, Albin's up there, obviously. If Anthony Richardson plays average, Albin's killing it still.
Yeah, I'm banking on a whole lot of AR, man.
Yeah.
He's got to complete 65% of his passes then, for Christ's sake.
Dude, give me like 55 and then with a rushing number.
55 and like 80 rushing yards a game. That's what you're looking at.
Give me like 20 rushing touchdowns and then we're good.
There you go. That's hashtag selfish predictions right there.
When have you got the draft set for Greenlight?
Greenlight is...
Was that one of your weird ones that looked like August?
No, this one is June.
I think that's the earliest one.
It is. So, and I can tell y'all why I did it that way. June 15th, I want to say, is like the last day that they can do like franchise tags for folks. Okay. And they have to like accept them essentially. So that's the only reason I pushed all those out that far, because I wanted to get like, ahead of that.
Well, you know how it is, man. The D-Gens want to draft like as soon as the draft's over.
I know.
And I get it.
I'm aware. Yeah.
But sometimes you got to save them from themselves.
Exactly. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, freaking Alvin and I were at the pool last year doing best ball drafts. So,
yeah,
like we could do that again,
How much money you win on those, though?
I would be in the ICU doing best ball drafts. This guy's on the bench. I'm like, he's good.
Is that Jamar Chase just dropped to the 106? Oh, my God.
Dude, my best ball last year, I think I paid $100 in buy-ins and cashed for 104.
There you go.
Yeah, man. That's how you get rich right there.
Still in the green.
You're in the green, dude.
Stacking those $4.
That's 4% interest right there for your efforts.
Yeah. Don't let me use a credit card. They're going to take 3% of it.
You're like, sure, it's going to be a $4 transaction fee. You're like, son of a bitch.
Best
Dude,
ball
next
last
time you
year
come
was
down,
not,
all
was
three of
not
us have to
good.
get together, dude, and do one. See if we can all split the winnings. Do a big one.
Man, what would you guys consider a big one? Because I'm not very good, so I'm thinking $30.
Yeah, I thought $20 in my head.
If we each put in like 20 and just jump in
I'll do that
on one account, and then we all just draft with it.
I would drag
do
you
we have
guys
to play
down.
like rock paper scissors?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, if you want to profit $4 by the end of the season, I'm your guy.
Dude, I had the 101 because I think I did like 7 of them, and I didn't like not a whole lot, but like 7. I had the 101 and probably 3 of them. I took Christian McCaffrey and or like Jamar Chase. I think I took C-Mac like 2 times.
Yeah,
obviously didn't win in those ones. So
no.
I've been playing best ball for years now. I don't get it. Same thing with DFS. I am not good at DFS. I don't know why. I just suck.
I'm really good at the 50-50s. I'm not good at the large field. The 50-50s.
You're good at cash games versus tournaments.
Yeah, the tournaments, I'm just not like I'll get, and it's funny too because you're running into the last game of the day and you're in first place. And then suddenly you're in 20th, and there's a half a point difference.
Yeah. And it's demoralizing. It's demoralizing, and
man, we going Sizzler. Nope. Cashed $4.
Oh, this guy. He already joined.
You put Ask Us Anything. I comment on there,
shit.
and you just now pull it up.
My bad. We were just saying yeah, my bad. Let me take that off just in case anybody else gets squirrely when I ask some stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, I would say for green light, you've got a lot of parity, but I still do think it's probably, if I had to be honest, it's probably Albin and Corey as the top 2 teams in that league.
Yeah. I am curious to see how Swoop's draft might sway me a little bit, but not enough to, Albin and Corey just have. Well, Swoop is also Corey. Corey without an E.
That's true. Yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Bloodline Corey is that team is a problem. Him and Albin are they need to be on the same side of the bracket.
Agree.
Yeah.
Just weaken each other's teams. Maybe a key player gets injured or something, and then somebody else I don't know.
Who's coming out next?
When's Arch now one out, right? No.
When's Arch Manning coming out? I might tank.
Are we doing divisions in that one or no?
We are doing divisions in that one. I have to decide whether we're going to keep the tiebreaker or we're going to go points for. Because the voting wasn't entirely clear. I think it was actually a tie between points for and head to head.
Oh, okay.
So I think with divisions, head to head is what makes the most sense. But yeah, nobody reads the bylaws I write anyways. I put a lot of time and effort into those. Well, I'll go fuck myself. It's fine.
You had the head to head in the after the snap league, and it was kind of a nightmare for you one year. You remember when everybody was like 8-6?
It was the very first year. It was the very first year.
Was it?
Like,
okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'm not just it took me like 30 minutes to figure that out.
Yeah, because it was like Corey was 11-3, and wasn't there like 5 teams 8-6? It was dumb.
Yeah. It didn't make no sense. But I will say this. Jason, because he popped on earlier, Jason said he took last year off of fantasy football in general. But this is his year to come back and come back strong.
Okay.
I'm curious. In looking at all his teams, I don't think that's going to happen. I would say – sorry, go ahead, Keith. What do you think?
No, I don't know, man. He's in some tough spots. But that's what happens when you take a year off, too.
Yeah, a year of inactivity is rough.
Like Jason knows his shit. He can flip a team fast.
Oh, he can. Yeah, absolutely. Keith, I think, is set up for success in DNDR and definitely in Nubs. No problemo. I think, Alvin, you're probably going to be a problem in Nubs, Greenlight, and the 3 that we're all in together.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be a problem.
I'm heavily dependent on AR, man. If if he shows up at least a little bit, I'll compete for sure. If not, might be in trouble.
Might be time to go see if you can overpay for Daniel Jones. You know?
Shit.
I mean, no, just as, as your primary backup, because if you use the AR, you want a guy who can also run a little bit.
Or I'll just play another wide receiver or something in that flex.
Yeah. Oh, if you're deep enough,
and then move up.
That's the thing.
CJ
Like,
Stroud to that
Superflex is great if you got a bunch of quarterbacks, but if you got so many stud receivers, who gives a shit? Just throw a receiver in there.
Yeah. 100%. Yep. That's what I was doing instead of starting Bryce Young. I was like, I'm just going to put a receiver in there and fuck that. Like,
but you got the same amount of points most of the time, at least most of the season.
I mean,
until the last 4 or 5 games.
To Keith's point in Nubs, man, you really could just start a wide receiver or running back in the second QB spot and be honestly better off.
Well, most people were having to be honest, like because their second quarterback was getting them 8 points, and it was like,
yeah.
What a terrible scoring system. Who set that shit up?
Well, but again, we knew that from the beginning. People just got to read the rules, man.
Some people do that. Yeah.
We talked during the initial draft, and I posted, somebody's not reading rules. And
I think that was, who was that?
It was somebody took Matt Stafford way early in that.
Somebody there was a couple of teams who kind of punted quarterback, and they were doing like the late rounder guys, which is totally valid in most formats, unless it's heavily weighted toward rushing, and then you're taking guys who get you 4 rushing yards a game.
Yeah. No, that's rough.
So anyways, it was 80 degrees here today. What was it out your guys' way? 900?
Like almost 90.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
High 80s.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, 90 for you guys is like y'all are getting jackets.
Nah, man.
No, it was hot. Like, no bullshit. I was driving home today. I was like, man, this freaking sucks. It was beaming on my legs.
Yeah, even 80s here,
and
man,
I was like,
high
son of a
70s.
bitch.
Warm, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, Eric warned me when I came out last summer. I think the exact phrase was, "You've never been out here before? Get ready for the motherfuck." I was like,
yeah. Well, I sent you that gif of the devil spanking your the ass, dude. I was like, that's how it is out here, man. It's fucking hot,
dude. You came out here in July too, like.
And it's not humid. It's not humid or nothing, but the heat, man, the dry heat just.
It was
so 115 is 115. Like.
It was so funny. You're in the Tucson airport and it's comfortable, and you look outside. It's not flames or anything. You're like, all right, it'll be fine. And then you open I opened the door to go get my rental car, and I just started laughing. I was like, sorry, gentlemen. I just started laughing when when I went outside, because it was every bit as hot as I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
And I left your house that night at like 1 o'clock.
And it was still fucking hot.
My door handle was still hot. Like, how is this a thing? It's my door handle.
It's cool. It's cooled down. It's 95 now in the evening.
Yeah.
We're like, hell yeah, this is perfect.
Super comfortable. Let's go ball out at the park in the 95 degree heat.
That's why next time you got to come out either January, February, man, or like late.
I'm coming in
September,
Christmas
October.
Lights are out. That's when I'm coming. Like
Well,
whatever time
you
frame
get
that
some
is.
houses, man. Some houses are still out right now. So.
The Christmas lights.
White trash never changes. I just turn them off.
Don't matter where you're at.
Yeah,
be there.
Yeah.
We just turn them off. It's fine.
But anyways, boys, we're about at an hour and a half.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna hop off because I gotta go pick up my kid from gymnastics. But
hell yeah, dude.
No.
All right, Alvin.
Well,
good to see you, bro.
I'm taking that.
Likewise,
I'm taking
man.
that.
We'll do it again, man. We'll see you again.
Yeah, man.
Bye,
I'll be
brother.
out.
All right, man. You guys take it easy.
Later.
All right, later.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, it's been about an hour and a half. I'm gonna go.
Well,
ahead
we
and
had
cut the
quite a
old
few
stream
leagues.
off. We did. No, it was a good. No, it's fine. It's been a good freaking time. I fully intend to do a lot more of these this year. in terms of like just videos in general, but also I'd like to get the boys on and just kind of bullshit. Like I think originally, like back in the day, I was chasing some sort of bullshit. Like I want to be a fantasy analyst sort of thing, which is cool. That's fine. I love it for those guys that are doing that. I don't care enough. I love our leagues. That's what makes me happy.
Yeah. No, I totally get it, man. It's, with an industry like that too, you got to be one of the first, or it's almost like a Ponzi scheme. If you're not one of the first, nobody's making any money.
Dude, it is. When I tell you that it's like lemmings, like that's the real big reason why I like just decided to stop was because if you didn't like toe the line with certain things that I didn't agree with, like whatever, I'll be a dickhead. Or not even a dickhead. I'll speak my like whatever, the truth about shit that I think. Like Leah Thomas, that shit with that dude that was swimming with the ladies, the transgender that was swimming with the ladies. Like everybody's like, oh my God, everybody in the industry, not everybody. A lot of people in the industry were like, oh my God, so brave. I'm like,
boo.
I said, this chick has a penis. And I got blocked by like so many people. That was kind of like the last straw for me because I just saw that shit like that all the time. And I was like, you know what, dude? We're not cut from the same cloth, or these guys are all just saying these sorts of things to get in with the right crowd. I don't care. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, well, my thing is, anybody who I've talked to, I don't really care either way what people believe or whatever, but I do like is to be able to have an honest conversation with somebody who's not going to lose their mind. And my point is, if it's so equal footing, how come you never see a transgender, I don't even know how this goes, you never see a transgender man come dominate a men's sport, but you see transgender women dominate a women's sport? There's also a reason.
There's almost
Ronda
like there's
Rousey,
biology right there.
Well, you think about, there's a reason Ronda Rousey at 135 isn't fighting men at 135.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what would happen? And this is nothing against her. I totally believe women can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there are physical limitations, and that's also why there's weight limits in wrestling. Like it's just bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah. That's not something that I think is an insult. It's not an insult to call a dead man dead, right? So what are we talking about here?
That's a good lyric right there, and/or a good song title. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
I mean, that's metal.
We better get on the horn with Electric Callboy.
Let's do it. But damn, I had a thought, but I lost it. Never mind.
You'll get it.
I'm so sorry. Maybe. No, I'm not going to get it.
Not going to get it.
No.
Fair.
Anyways. All right. Sorry. I literally just screamed into the mic. But I am going to get off here. I know it's kind of late for y'all over there. Appreciate it, dude. This was a lot of fun. We're definitely going to do this way more often during the year. Hopefully, Jason can pop on. The chaos ball that Cam can pop on. He'll probably have soundboards and everything ready to go.
He cannot have the soundboard again.
Dude, the
soundboard was the worst idea maybe ever.
You listen to podcasts like the Fantasy Footballers, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it sparingly, and it's like, oh hell yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Cam's like every other word. Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, that was. I love Cam. That was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, that was rough, dude. And we were getting some momentum, and I was like, Cam, please don't. Fucking whatever. It's all good though. Anyways, for Keith. Oh, damn, I actually got that right. For Keith, for Eric, we're out of here. For this sharp, beautiful instrument of glory. Yep.
Do it.
Right
Eric,
now.
do it. Acknowledge me.
Yep.